welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle and today we're going to be doing some 11 plus English comprehension practice. So let's get straight into it. In our English comprehension, we are going to be reading a short passage and answering 10 challenging questions. And in the description below, I have a link to a PDF for a short 6-question comprehension of the passage that we are reading today. So let's get on to our next question. So first, the passage that we are going to be reading today is called The Abandoned Village. So I'm going to read this to you for now. The village lay silent, hidden among the hills, its cobbled streets cracked and overgrown. Windows stared like empty eyes from the crumbling houses, and the wind whispered through the empty doorways. Once, laughter and chatter had filled these lanes, but now only the rustling of leaves and the occasional caw of a distant crow disturbed the stillness. Nature had begun to reclaim what was once hers. Ivy climbed the walls, and wildflowers sprouted from the stone pathways. The air carried a strange mixture of melancholy and peace, as if the memories of the villagers lingered quietly in every corner. If you did not get this story, please pause the video and read it to yourself once more. So now let's get on to our first question. So question 1 is, what kind of place is described in the passage? A busy town, a school playground, or an abandoned village? Now the first thing, I have put a little section over here in the text of what you can do in the 11 plus, where you can underline the section that your the answer is going to be in, but I've already done that for you. So over here we can see that the village is silent. So if it's silent, we know that lots of people are not going to be in it, which suggests that it is abandoned. But also, if we also remember the title of our text, we can know that it's called The Abandoned Village, which gives us the sense that the answer is going to be C. So now let's get on to our next question. Question 2. What is happening to the village now? It is crowded with people, it's overgrown and empty, or it's being rebuilt. Now, the first thing that we can do is eliminate when we read these questions. We all know from the previous questions that it is abandoned and it's not going to be crowded with people. So we can eliminate the option which is A. Now it is overgrown and empty, or it's being rebuilt. So now let's read the section that I've given you here. The village lay silent, hidden among the hills, its cobbled streets cracked and overgrown. We have the word overgrown here. Windows stared like empty eyes from the crumbling houses, and the wind whispered throughout the empty doorways. Now, in this little section that I've given you, there's no hint that the village is going to be rebuilt, which means that our answer would be B. If you did not get this answer, please put in the comment below if you did not understand. Question 3. Which of these can you hear in the village? Music and laughter, rustling leaves and a crow, or a traffic noise? So let's read our little section over here. Once, laughter and chatter had filled the streets. Now that is hinting that it would be A, but in the 11 plus they try and trick you a lot. So let's look. It says once, that means that it's not there anymore. So we can eliminate A. Now, rustling leaves and a crow. But now the only rustling leaves and the occasional caw, which we can see, is in the text. So we all know that the answer would be B. So question 4. Now, I've not given you a little section. I've given you a big piece so that you can underline it. So this is what you normally do in the 11 plus. You'd read the section and look and skim and scan for the answer in the text. So let's look. How do the houses look? New and clean, crumbling with empty windows, or painted brightly? So let's look in the text. We're going to skim and scan. So here we can see it says windows stared like empty eyes, and here it says empty windows, but it also says that it's crumbling. So we all can tell from here, when we skim and scan, then the answer would be B. So question 5. Question 5 says, who used to live in the village? Tourists, villagers, and animals only. So let's skim and scan our text for some clues. So here it says, once laughter and chatter had filled these lanes. So we all know that animals do not laugh, so we can eliminate C. But it could be villagers or tourists. So let's skim and scan our text and see if there's anything else that we can find. And at the last sentence over here, it says, as if memories of the villagers lingered quietly in every corner, showing that it's not tourists, but it's villagers. So our answer would be B. Question 6. Which phrase is an example of personification? For those of you who don't know what personification is when you give something that does not live a human attribute, or it's doing something that humans can only do. So let's look. Stared, so we do not need to refer to the text for this because we've already got the sections here. So A would be stared like empty eyes. B would be wildflowers sprouted from store pathways. The village lay silent. So first of all, let's look at B. B, wildflowers sprouted from store pathways. And we all know that all flowers do that and humans don't normally do that. So that would not be personification. But now let's look at the village lay silent and stared like empty eyes. So what is staring like empty eyes? Now we can go back to our text and look for that. And then we see here that windows stared like empty eyes. And we all know that windows do not do that. So our answer would be A. Question 7. Why has the village begun to reclaim the village? Yeah. A. People planted flowers, the village was abandoned, and there was a festival. Now we can eliminate two things on just reading the questions. There are no people in the village, which means that people cannot paint flowers. And there was a festival. There cannot be a festival when there are no people there. So we can eliminate C2, and then our answer would be B. Question 8. Which feeling is most suggested by the passage? Joy, sadness and stillness, and fear. Well, let's just clarify something. It says the air carried a strange mixture of melancholy and peace. Melancholy is something like sadness or being sad, the act of being sad. So it's not going to be joy because that's the opposite of sad. But it brings peace. So that means that it's not going to bring fear to you if something is peaceful. So then our answer would be B. If you've gotten this far into my video, that means that my video is really helping you. So please like and subscribe and share this to anyone that this would be useful to. So let's get on to question 9. Question 9 says, what does ivy climb the walls suggest? So let's look at this over here. We can eliminate so many things already by just looking at our questions. It says nature is growing freely. That could be it, but houses are being repaired. No one can repair the houses if there's no people. If there's no people, no one can repair the houses. So then we can eliminate B. People are decorating the houses, and again, there is no people, which means we can eliminate C, and our answer would be A. Question 10, our final question, says, what does the passage reveal about the village's past? It was always empty, it used to be full of life, it was a modern city. Okay, let's look here and skim and scan. It says here again, we've looked at this piece a lot. Once laughter and chatter had filled these lanes, but now only the rustling leaves and occasional call of a distant crow disturbed the stillness. So that shows us that there were people here. It wasn't always empty, which means that we can eliminate A. It used to be full of life and it was a modern city. Well, it was a city, but it wasn't really a city because it was a village. Over here it says it was a village. So it's not going to be a city. So we can eliminate C, and the answer would be B. Thank you guys for watching my video. Be expecting more videos like this. But if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn those notifications on now, because I'm going to be posting more videos like this. But if you did not understand anything in this video, please comment in the comment section down below, and I will try and answer all of your questions. Thank you, and bye!